Good morning. Welcome to my home and welcome to my heart. I'm grateful to be with you today. I know that might sound a little bit stilted, but I really am. I'm grateful for this opportunity and for this, for the internet and the way that we can reach out and touch each other and that we can feel our chi and our connection and our unified chi fields together across miles and the other side of the world. I've got some followers that follow me from the other side of the world, and it's pretty cool. So thank you, and wonderful to be with you today, and I appreciate you and the feeling of warmth that I get. I know of one person in Tasmania I'm thinking of at this moment, and just how when she radiates her healing journey, it connects with me, and I feel it, and she's literally on the other side of the world. And so this technology is just so cool that we can be so connected. Because isn't that what human beings want and what human beings need? We need it for our whole being, is to be connected to each other. And so I'm grateful for that connection. I'm grateful for the electromagnetic energy of these chi fields that we have. Because I feel it through the phone. There used to be, if you're old enough to know this, there used to be I think it was a Bell advertisement that said, "Reach out and touch someone today," and it was for phone. I think, was it? Do you remember that one, Mom?
Yeah,
was it for phone?
Like this, and it had a line handle
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
So
So reach out and touch someone today. So as we practice together and as we share our joy and share our sorrows and share the different things, we reach out and we touch each other, and that's so incredibly important. It's how we nourish each other. It's how we lift each other. It's how we vibrate together and raise this world to a higher place, to a more comfortable place, to a more balanced place. And that's part of my journey is to be able to be part of that. To be able to share my love and my joy and the joy and the wisdom and the knowledge that I receive from the universe and share it with other people so that they can be empowered and enjoyed as well. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today in the 5-element theory and the 5 elements of movement and the 5 elements of the earth is the metal energy of the lungs. We're moving into now the fall. The fall solstice, fall equinox has just passed yesterday, and we're now moving in. Did you see that beautiful full moon? Wasn't it glorious? As it was rising up, as I was coming in from the barn yesterday, I could see this beautiful harvest moon. It was red and it was just divine, and there were some silhouettes of some of our equipment before it, and it was just magnificent. It made my heart really expand. So as we're coming into this fall season, we're moving into more of a yin season where the harvest is in. We're starting to kind of close up and be more building and nurturing and introspective. The actions of the summer and the actions of the harvest have all now settled down, and we're now into this yin energy. The yin and yang energy are very important to understand, and I don't even begin to pretend that I understand them in almost any kind of fullness. But as we open our minds and open our hearts to those possibilities and to the ideas of yin and yang and the flow of the seasons and the metal and the earth and the fire and the water, then we're less, as we understand ourselves and the flow of where we are, we're less judgmental, because we can say, oh, when we didn't accomplish what we thought we were supposed to accomplish, we can then look at where we are and what element we're in right now and what the seasons are doing, and we can go, oh, well, I'm pushing against something that's not natural at the moment. I can move into that and receive it and understand how to flow with the rhythms and with the yin and with the yang, and then I can be in balance. I remember specifically we were doing whitewater canoeing, and as we were getting ready to go onto this river, we had a guide with us, and I would not have called myself at that point, or now even, an expert canoeer by any stretch of the imagination. And we were on the North Saskatchewan River, and my family and I had 3 canoes between us. I think there were 3 of us in each canoe. And there were a number of us, so there were probably 10 canoes on the river for this day trip. And there were about 4 sets of rapids on this river that our guide said to us, now you can circumvent the rapids if you wish, if you don't want to go through the rapids, or if you do want to go through the rapids, you need to just keep driving forward. But he gave us some tips. So we came with our armor on. We all were wearing helmets, that was a requirement. We all had life jackets, that was a requirement. We all had shoes on our feet, so runners. And then we were dressed, in tight shorts and things that were clothing that would stick to our body and not get really heavily saturated and drag us around. So one of the things that he said to us was, if our canoes rolled, if we got ourselves into the rapids and those canoes dumped and all of our stuff was tied into the canoes and we had long throw bags and stuff with the long ropes, so there was always a solution to get ourselves rescued or to ourselves. But he said, if your canoe rolls, and you get disconnected from your canoe, this is what you do. You cross your hands across your chest. You put your feet into the river downstream, so you're going with the river, and you let the river carry you. And then you can kind of kick your way over to the side of and out of the rapids. There were no rapids that were completely encompassed by banks. So there was always some way you could get out of the rapids. There's one called Devil's Elbow. I remember this one very specifically. But the clue was, you crossed your hands over your chest, so you keep all your limbs in, keep all the limbs in the boat. Your feet were downstream, he said, and do not try to stand up. When you're in those rapids, there's rocks that are really high, and the force of the water is pushing you along. And if you try to stand up against that and try to get your way out without following the flow, you're going to break a leg or at least get lacerated on those rocks. So he says, go with the flow. And yes, we did roll a few times. I remember getting pulled into Devil's Elbow, and I'm stroking because I'm in the front canoe, and I turned my head back and looked back, and my kids' canoe, I had teenagers, had gone up and rotated and went down flat, dumping all of its contents. My children. And they, followed all the rules and got out, and it was so fun. But when we go with the flow and we understand what is going on and understand, Qigong, Spring Forest Qigong is a science. As we understand the science of the wood, the fire, the earth, the metal, the water energy, we understand the science of the liver, the heart, the spleen, the lungs, the kidneys, all of the connections to them, as we understand the science of the breath, understand the science of the emotions that we release and that we bring in. It's all a science. And our science also says that our body and our mind and our spirit and our soul are connected. And so it becomes a spiritual science, but it is still a science. And as Master Lin likes to say, if you believe in it, it works. If you don't believe in it, it still works because it's a science. And the science of the mind is very, very important and critical. So with these ideas in mind and these thoughts in mind of understanding the science and using the science to open ourselves, to heal, to be joyful, to receive all of the beautiful unconditional love of the universe. Love is a science. Love vibrates at a certain measure, at a certain level, and that vibration of that certain level changes our bodies. That is a science. It's really cool. We can't separate emotions and science. They are together as a science. So I wanted to just share that with you because it just makes me so excited, because it makes it accessible to everyone. As we understand and we use, our bodies are now optimized into their full potential of capacity to achieve. So one of the sciences is that vibration and tapping starts to release extra energy that is clogged in our bodies and blocked, and we're going to release it. So we're just going to tap with our eyes, with our fingers. You can do the first 2 fingers, middle 2 fingers, whatever's comfortable, between the eyebrows. And our intention is important, so I'm setting the intention of 9 taps at a time. And we're going to tap on our collarbones because I'm talking a lot. So you can think, and we're going to tap down our bodies. And we're going to just tap on our sacrum. And this tapping is just simply loosening things up and letting things, it's just like if you take sand and gravel. Remember when you went to the beach and you had a little sieve and you sifted the sand, and all the sand fell through, and then the big rocks were left. What we're doing is we're sifting. We're letting everything that's ready to go back into the universe be released, just with happiness and joy. And we're going to begin to bounce now. And this bouncing energy, again, is more releasing energy. The tapping was releasing at very specific acupuncture points and meridian ending points, and the bouncing is more general. And as we bounce, think about being a little child. I love following Rong Li's practice because she's just so joyful and she's so childlike, and she just brings in this energy of it's so delightful. Go back into Spring Forest Qigong, and I think there's probably ways that you can, on the Facebook pages, that you can just pick up one of Rong Li's, Rongli, Rong Li, and follow one of her practices. She's so delightful. I love her work. You expand when you're practicing with Rong. So as we bounce, we're just going to shake out our elbows and our wrists. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. If we add that smile to our face, then all of what we're doing is releasing and letting things go. If you've got some things happening in your life that are bringing you into an energy of sadness or anger or bitterness or resentment, depression, as you bounce, you might have bigger emotions come up. You might have some more intense emotions come up. I invite you to receive those. And if you have emotions that come up that bring tears to your eyes, receive them, let them move. Feel your body. Your body might want to bounce deeper. It might want to bounce a little slower. Feel your body. Feel what it wants to do. And just feel into that bounce. Feel into your breath. Feel into vibrations that are moving, the vibration of emotion. This element is the lung element. We're working with the lung system, and the color is white. All of those energies have vibrations to them as well. And if you're feeling intense emotions that are bringing you to tears in any way perhaps, or feeling the depths of sadness or despair, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Your exhale will probably be longer than your inhale. And as you exhale, feel those extra energies, that contracting emotion. Feel it just rise up and leave and release. As it rises up and leaves and releases, feel what it was, feel what it was about. You might get some messages of things in your life that you'd like to adjust, things that you might change and adjust, so that more freedom, more feelings of peace and contentment can come in. In our meditations, we're often given information for ourselves and for our life. This is a moving meditation. Let's let our hands float up. By the time my hands get to right about here, my chin wants to drop down and the tension in the back of my neck stretches out. The more and more you practice, the more that you'll notice in your body which spots we're holding things in and which spots are releasing. There, my body, once my hands were up, my body wanted to slow down its bounce. It wanted to bounce a little deeper into the knees. I love the bouncing process because it's such a releasing process for me. And for me, my idea and my thought came once when I was bouncing with my hands in the air, that this is a place of surrender. I'm surrendering to the universe, to the unconditional love of the universe, and I'm allowing everything that isn't expanding me to be released and to go back to the universe. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed and transmuted. Let's allow our hands to float down and allowing a swivel to come in. Oh, I needed that one today. Just felt a big release between my shoulder blades. And as you swivel and bounce, just feel into your body and feel any little spots in your body that are holding tension or giving you awareness. Just be aware of them and thank them for the information that they're bringing to you. And we're going to finish our bounce by breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth and coming into a quiet stillness on the exhale. And as you come into that quiet stillness on that exhale with our breath, notice what happens in your body. Do you feel shimmering or tingling anywhere? A vibration? My hands just want to float away from my body. I feel a whole aura around my body. I feel a beautiful fullness in my palms. I feel my fingertips tingling. I feel a smile naturally coming to my face because this feeling after bouncing is so joyful. Chin drops down. That smile that naturally came to your face perhaps, invite it to stay. Bringing our hands to the lower dantian. Women, your right hand will be next to your navel. Men, your left hand will be next to your navel. We're not touching our body. We're giving space for the chi to flow. Our hands are naturally curved, our fingers are naturally curved, our fingers are open. Again, it's all natural though. It just sits where it feels like it should sit. Here in this space, we're being aware of our lower dantian, our navel area. Be aware of your chi there. Chi is energy with a life force to it, with pure intelligence, and with a blueprint. The chi knows exactly how our bodies and our minds and our souls and our spirits could be. And our chi is activated by our yi, by our intention, which we will set now. Call upon the energy of your master. And your master is anyone from whom you gain wisdom and knowledge, you feel perfectly safe with. You may have a label for that master. You may choose your own. That master can also be your own inner knowing, that inner guide. As we call upon the energy of our master with gratitude and we set the intention for our practice. Dear Master, with deep gratitude for the wisdom that thou hast brought to me, deep gratitude for so many miracles I see in my life, I set the intention for my practice today. You set your intention for why you have come. You might be seeking healing. You might be seeking wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is information and wisdom is how to use it. As we set the intention for our practice, our chi is now activated to work on that and to work within that intention that we set. And now we give the password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together as one. Feel into the power of that password. Where does that take you in your mind, in your spirit? Master Lin teaches us about going into the emptiness. That password is the key that unlocks the door to the emptiness. Feel into where the password takes you. in the emptiness for me, it is actually filled with unconditional love and all possibilities. Bringing our hands to the center at the lower dantian. We're going to bring our hands into a gentle prayer position, upside down. Our fingertips are touching just lightly enough to hold a piece of paper. Bringing our fingers into a heart shape at our lower dantian. We're going to walk our right foot out a little bit further. And we're going to shift our body weight to the left. And as we shift that weight to the left, we're going to inhale. And as we shift our body weight to the right, we exhale. Feel what happens in your body as you do these shifts. My body wants to drop into alignment. My shoulders drop. My chin drops. The top of my head from here stretches up into the universe. My pelvis naturally aligns. I've been walking the path of arthritis in my hips. And this particular movement is one that I can do in full freedom. It feels strong. It feels fluid. It feels joyful. It is healing. Breathe in to the left and breathe out to the right. All of these movements can be done standing, sitting, and lying down. Especially if you're sitting or lying down, envision yourself in full health. Say to yourself, all my channels are open, open, open. My body is in perfect health. My body is in perfect alignment. Energy flows freely and smoothly through my whole body. My body releases extra energy that's ready to return to the universe in love and gratitude for the wisdom that these struggles have brought to me. And with each in-breath and out-breath, as I breathe in, I feel in and ask for the feeling and bring in the feeling of contentment. As I breathe out, I release extra energy with love and gratitude. Breathing in contentment. I am content. The universe that is made of unconditional love brings to me at all times the experiences that bring me wisdom, that help illuminate my choice, that empower me to emerge and arise in the full magnificence of who I already am. I am content. I am safe. As we exhale, we release extra energy with joy and gratitude. we inhale the feeling of contentment. Like a newborn baby, contentedly falling asleep, knowing that its universe is perfect and holds all power. This baby can receive everything it needs from this universe of unconditional love. I am content. One other element that we can bring into our practice is the practice of sound. And as we move to the right, and on our exhale, we can chant the sound of C. Inhale to the left, inhale contentment. Exhale with C. You might find yourself yawning. That's a releasing. You're letting extra energy go. And the yawn is a big release. Breathing in to the left. See. And coming back to the center now. Walk your right foot back in to a space that's comfortable for you. Bringing our hands back to the lower dantian, allowing our knees to be flexible, and see a white energy ball spinning faster and faster to the right. And this is your chi. It's spinning faster and faster. We're condensing it. And we're condensing it as it spins faster and faster, and it's whiter and whiter, and mine just has opalescent sparks flying off of it right now. And we invite it into our lower dantian, to the reservoir of our torso. And there it becomes a reservoir to feed our whole body. Our middle dantian, which is our heart, our upper dantian, which is our third eye, our intuition. But it all is fed from the lower dantian. So we focus there. And for me, it now sits and it expands in there, and I can see it as a big white orb, and it vibrates and it hums. That's just my visualization. You'll have your own. Let's rub our hands together. We're harvesting our chi now. Feel that warmth as our eyes open and we come from that meditative state back into the world around us, tapping our fingers together. We're now harvesting our chi and kind of putting on a coat and tucking in what we just cultivated so that it stays in us. It is going to travel out and meet other people, but it's more contained, if that's the right word. I'm not sure. I need to find ways to explain harvesting our chi better. Running our hands on either side of our nose up into our hairline, down in a heart shape to the bottom of our chin. I invite you as you do this to say to yourself out loud, I love you, and use your own name. I love you, Roxy.
I love you, Johnny.
Tapping the top of your head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I invite you to hold your forehead and just gently tap the back of your head right at the base of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tapping it between the eyebrows again. 7, 8, 9, under the eyes. And down the whole body. I always feel refreshed, no matter what has happened before I've practiced, and lots often does. Left arm. After practicing, I just feel balanced. And our intention is that it's 9 times that we're tapping. As I share things with you, I often will lose count, but just go with that intention. Tapping underneath on the torso, that's what this is, and the other side. This is our lung system. We're going to tap down the whole chest again and wake up those lungs, breathing very deeply and fully, clasping our fingers together and massaging the whole set of organs and saying to them, thank you so much for all the work that you do for me, keeping my body in balance, all those systems working in concert with each other. We're going to rub our kidneys with the backs of our hands, saying to them, thank you so much for all the filtration and the cleansing that you do. And we're going to tap our kidneys with just an open fist, and this is very gentle. We're not thumping. And in this tapping process, and we're going to tap down into our sacrum now, I invite us each to think about tapping to release, not tapping to get rid of. It's a different mentality. When we often come to Qigong, and I came to Qigong in this same way, to fix something, to heal something. I need to get fixed, I need to get healed now. And when that didn't happen in the first 100 days, I threw out the practice. And then I realized, oh, but my soul, my soul. I threw out my soul at the same time. And as I came back to the practice, I felt so much balance in my soul. And now 2 years, 2.5, almost 3 years later, the healing that I was desiring in my hips 2.5 years ago is beginning to happen. I have so much more fluidity and movement in my body. I lose my cane frequently. It's delightful. So my miracle is emerging, and I am so grateful for these principles and this science through which I can access that miracle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the backs of our knees. 6, 7, 8, 9 in the left side. And so we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Master Lin often says, I healed myself. And I've kind of had a little issue with that because I think, how could you heal yourself? But as I understand and I deepen into the practice and start to understand the science, because as we understand the science and we access the science by our choice, this is why we can say, I healed myself. Because as we choose to settle into that science and choose to look at it and go, oh, I can use that piece of information. Oh, I can use this piece of information. Because our choices to use the information that we're given, the information's there. And it's there in its fullness and its depth. It's going to take us a few years to learn it all, and we're actually never going to learn it all. We're in this process. But as we open ourselves to the information and take in that information into ourselves in a cellular level, because it is a science, our cells are going to respond to the information and to the choice that we've made to bring that information in. And so therefore we can heal ourselves because we choose to access the unconditional love and the powers of a universe that is unconditionally loving. Namaste. I love you. I'm so delighted to be working with you, to be connected to you, and to feel your presence with me here live and then later on. Namaste.